The following movie is rated R.
Welcome back to the R-Rated podcast. Today's guest is Nate Lyles, and we're going to talk about his cross-country experience. Where did you drive from? Where did you start? Sorry.
Delaware.
Delaware. Oh my God. Okay, wait. So how long is the drive from Delaware to Los Angeles? And what made you have that because I mean, it's one thing to be like, okay, I'm going to get on a plane and then go to LA, but I'm assuming you kind of decided to pack your bags and I'm leaving town, right?
Yeah, it started a year before I left. I think I'm not good with dates and all that in years,
right?
Like 2015,
yeah,
ish, around that time.
Yeah.
So 2014, I guess it was. And I would talk to my friends. We would Can I take the story back a couple? Okay, so a couple of years.
Take us to the beginning so that we because I'm a visual person too, so I'm like. All right. Let me get the timeline.
Right out of high school. A lot of people don't know what they want to do. Some people know what they want to do.
Actually, honestly, even until mid 30s, sometimes people don't know what. I mean, you know, it's different for everyone. Exactly. But yeah, I get it. Yeah.
I mean, I would always try to tell my younger brother, try to find out what you want to do because that'll help you with everything else. Because you got a lot of questions, you got a lot of doubt, you're not sure. But I mean, work through high school, try to figure out what you're passionate about and what you want to do. Because if you have a goal, then you're good.
Right.
So I didn't know what it was like. I had several goals and several things.
I like that you already had several goals though, because sometimes it's even just hard to find one goal, you know?
Yeah. And I say it's
so that's pretty cool. That's inspirational.
Gift and a curse, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So which one do I start with?
Right.
So, everybody wanted me to go to college.
Did it seem realistic, where you were at? Was your family that doesn't seem like a realistic dream or goal? Were they always very supportive?
Always supportive. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, they have their one, my mom, I guess my mom is probably the only person who really cared, whose opinion I cared about.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody was you should do this, but they all wanted me to be an architect. And I'm like, that sounds boring.
No way, really? Was that something that was it
because I could draw real good. I was good at geometry, not the other maths, but it sounded like you had to do a lot of other maths.
I was never good at math. I was like,
yeah, and I was like, nope, that sounds boring.
I was like, I went to film school for a reason. I cannot all I can do is count money and basic math.
We gotta do some geometry with the grid. Of the
honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I did have a tutor for geometry, but
all right.
Yeah, so we had different high school experiences in math. Okay, so then you're in high school, you're like, I want to do this, but your parents want you to be an architect.
Yeah.
So what's happening now?
So this is in the Philly area. So my mom moved to Delaware.
Okay.
And I was not ready to go to Delaware. Yeah. Delaware, it didn't I was making music with my friends.
So you're making music too?
Yeah, I was making music.
What kind of music?
I had my own airbrush shop, that type of thing. I had stuff going on.
All in high school? Still in high school?
Just coming right out of high school.
Wow.
I'm 18.
But that's very ambitious. Not most 18-year-olds are doing 3 to 4 things at once.
It has so much.
So much passion and energy. I love that. That's amazing.
But it didn't hit me until we needed a music video person for our film, for our music.
Yeah.
That I was the whole, cause I did poetry as well. So in my mind,
you're by the way.
Yeah, no, because I was saying in my mind, in my poetry, I told stories.
Right.
So in my mind, I was just a storyteller. Because in my raps, I would tell a story.
Right. So you're doing different forms of storytelling. Because even when you're making music, you're I don't know if you were you writing lyrics too, or was it more instrumental?
All lyrics.
Yeah. So then it's you're literally writing different form of stories in different creative ways. That's really cool. Nice.
And so when I put it all together, it's and when I had to do the music video, I did a shot list because I draw too. So I did not shot list.
So did you make the decision I'm gonna be the one making the music video, or was it just the smart it was Nate, you do it, Or,
they were since I had a camera, we would do comedy stuff and shoot ourselves doing that type of thing, but it wasn't major until the music video came around, and they was we ain't paying nobody, we ain't paying it, so let's do it ourselves. And once I did it, and I was
that's the best way to do it.
I like this behind the camera type thing.
So. You it kind of sparked the initial love for film, or
and Mary J. Blige song,
nice.
All that I need is there for you. That song, All I Need, I think it's called. I saw that music video and I really like the way I think her name is Diane Martell. Her name is Diane Martell, the director. I like the way she did it.
Yeah.
Because I like the story she told within. I was all right, you can tell music videos with stories and stuff like that. So that's cool. not just booty shaking and weird colors and puffy shirts and flashing lights. You know what I mean? So I got into a music video, and I did some music videos for like the local people.
Okay.
But all right, so that's just to say that was me in like after high school engaging in all my passions and paths.
Right.
And it all like, you know, amalgamized, I guess, into filmmaking. And I had made a hike. If I really want to dig into this, then I got to go where the best are in order to be the best or to be challenged enough, because I was getting bored, you know. It's like, and I'm like, I need to excel.
Right.
You know, I'm watching like people like Jordan or somebody like that saying if I want to be the best, I got to challenge the best and all that. So like, do I go to New York? Do I go to Los Angeles?
Right. Yeah.
I seen enough of the snow. I was cold enough. I had enough winters.
Yeah, I was like, I need that sun.
So we had did some movies. A couple of my buddies, we did some movies in Delaware when I eventually moved to Delaware. When the music and stuff was done with. Let me just say done with. And the airport shot was done with. So I moved to Delaware. And I got a spot out there, and I met some friends. Got to work at a movie theater. I met some people there. I was still doing music too.
Right.
I met a guy at the movie theater. I'm thinking I'm gonna meet maybe some people I can do some movie stuff
That's
with.
actually really funny you brought that up, because as a kid, not as a kid, but like when I was younger, I didn't know like how do you make your way into the industry. So I kind of thought too, like, oh, like maybe if you go to the movie theater, you like meet someone there.
Yeah,
like
I got
connections. No idea.
At the movie. Hey, y'all showing them. Y'all know some people.
Yeah. Like in the front row, I'm like, is someone there? Like that can help me. But that was like when I was really young, and I had no clue, like, you know, like the process of it all.
California?
I was back when I was living in Austria, like still like, you know, like probably 10, 11, just like, you know, I always knew I wanted to do film. I just didn't know it was directing. I thought it was acting at first, because I was like, I want to be like, I was like, I want to be around the whole movie scene. But when I actually tried acting, I was like, I want to direct. Like I was just like, I want to be like in charge of like creating the movie.
Was there a moment or a situation or?
I think it's like multiple things. Like I really do believe I'm like a creative person, and I see things very visually in my mind. And I've also just from living in, you know, two parts of the world, like living in Austria and living here, I feel like I've seen a lot of different things, and I've experienced a lot of things. So I like to like create, as in like writing and then like directing it, seeing the story come to life is like so amazing to me. Like I feel like you can't beat that. And like acting, it's like really cool because you're fulfilling that part, and you're the face of the movie essentially. But that was like a lot of pressure for me. Like I was just like, I don't know if I want to be the like I want to be in charge of the movie, and like people know me for like, oh yeah, like, you know, she made this movie, but I don't want to be like the face of the movie, like here's my face. And like, I don't know, it's just like weird. I'm not really like,
was after acting gig that you was like, a couple.
Yeah, like I did a couple, and then I was just kind of like, at first when I was younger I had stage fright, like doing plays, and then I got rid of that, and I was like, okay. And then I started realizing that people were just so much better than me. And I went to like acting classes, and I was like, damn, like these people are good. You know what I mean? I just like,
you ain't wanted that bad.
And I just didn't have that confidence. Like it was a different confidence. Like I have confidence like in creating films and directing. Like I'm like, the story would be so good. Like the story needs to be seen. Like I have such confidence in that. Right. But like when it comes to me acting, like I am not gonna fight for it as much. So I think that's when I realized I'm like, okay, this is not it. But like I don't want to walk away from the film world, right? And so then I did some research, and I was like, maybe I want to be a DP, like a cinematographer, right? I was like, maybe it's, and then that was for like a couple months, and then I was like, no, and then I was like, okay, no, directing, and then I stuck to that, and here we are.
Well, I noticed I like this is another thing with filmmaking. Noticed when I was doing music, I like doing it as a group with my friends.
Okay.
When I was writing, like that's how when I was doing poetry, like in high school, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was like we ended up getting like a group together to do poetry at the library after school type of thing.
Okay, cool.
And then when we shot the music videos, when we did our little skits and stuff, it's all like the communal, like friends doing things together, and you know, that thing. So I like that. Right. So my friends weren't doing music anymore, and so, you know, I did like a solo thing for myself, and I was like, I ain't feeling me the same way it was with my friends and everything. Yeah. So I was also fortunate enough to have someone named Miss Glover. Shout out Miss Glover. She
I love it.
took me to a modeling agency, and I did like some modeling, and quickly found out that wasn't for me.
I mean, you have the hype for sure. I was like, hello.
That was not for me.
You didn't like it?
No, there's no creative juices being fed, and there's no challenge. And
right.
Like that. Then I did acting. When you mentioned it, like the stage fright thing,
you did acting too? That. Yeah.
So I had to get over that. I did some stage plays, and
I just it wasn't like, for me either. Yeah, it's just stage something. Play, no. It's just like it's. Especially like theater, I'm like, it's so live. You know what I mean? Like if you mess up in front of everyone. And I was like, I don't know if I can handle that stress every single day.
The days are like, not the days, but like their job, I guess, would be shorter because you practice for a lot, then you just like put on the show for.
My acting friends that do both musical theater and acting, they have mentioned like the days on, like when you work with musical or theater plays, like it's shorter days. But it's constant, yeah. But you know, when you're on set, like you're not having like all these people like watching you constantly, and if you mess up, like you can kind of get away with messing up, even though like you're probably, you know, you're an actor, not like purposely trying to mess up, but like so there's definitely some difference.
Waiting in your trailer, and like there's no waiting in the trailer on stage. Like you look behind the curtain, but you gotta be ready.
I know.
And have your stuff right. So in Delaware. Movie theater, got a guy, he said he was a producer, so I did some music. It's one little album thing that I did for myself.
Nice.
And then I met a guy who had wrote some things with his buddy. And so we started like making like sketches, comedy type stuff out there.
Like comedy skits or like okay, cool. Yeah.
They're out there somewhere. It's called Random X with DUMB, Random
on
X.
like YouTube.
Yeah, they on YouTube. Don't look for them. Don't go out there looking for them things.
No, I mean we all have those embarrassing old videos, but hey, that's what makes us, right? Like that's how you have to start somewhere. You have to you learn from those, you know, like
first movie I did.
Oh my God, I know. I look back now and I'm like, there's so much to like learn and change. And like, I was like, I can add so much, but you live and you learn. Like I said, you learn from every project. I literally didn't know anything about film when I joined this New York Film Academy.
Yeah. Is that when you already had that passion for the directing?
Yeah. When I started school when I started film school is when I had the passion for directing. But before that, it was still acting and maybe cinematography. But I was like still like trying to consider acting.
So within school, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I know something about me.
No. Like within school, I started realizing like I definitely want to be a director. But then also I never planned to be like a screenwriter. But in school, I had so much fun doing it because, like you said, the group thing where you like when you're writing poetry together in a circle, that's what we did with screenwriting. Oh, okay. We essentially every week would meet together or have class, and then I was like, why am I saying it like that? We have class, and then you know, it's like you had to write like 10 pages. Let's say every week you have to write like new 10 pages, or like if that was for like the feature like class. Exactly. Like every classmate had to write like 5 to 10 pages, right? And then you read it out loud, and every classmate is like one of the characters. And so it's like you're not reading your story to anyone, you're just hearing it read out loud. And that way you can hear like, okay, does that make sense? Does it sound weird? Like you're just really focusing on what the story is, like listening to it. And it was just cool because we got like friendly criticism on how to better our story. And I feel like that's what made me a stronger writer. But now that I'm outside of school, it sucks because, you know, like when I write something, I don't have like 10 people sitting in a circle with me like, all right, Chris, like, yeah, exactly. Like, okay, like you should do. So that's one thing I do miss about film school, the screenwriting class, like having like, you know, friendly criticism, and like also like the friendly criticism like is what really shapes and makes your story so much better, because it's like because people sometimes give you tips that or like notes that you didn't think of, and you're like, you're right, and then it just you know. So that's one thing.
Harley, I know you're familiar with the character Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I wrote a Harley Quinn feature, and I damn sure needed somebody else to. I needed women to read it and let me know. All right, well, you know, I wrote from Harley's perspective and everything, but I'm still.
Was it hard writing from a woman's perspective?
That was fun because I didn't think of her as a woman. I just thought of her as like who she is. As a mad woman, like a victim of this abuse and murderous, crazy killer. Yeah, so I just became that. But not, you know, because I try to become the character that I am.
Of course. I became that.
I couldn't become a woman, but I became that and just went with that. But I needed, like, I asked, you know, my sister and a couple of my friends who write and shot things to, like, read it and give me some notes on, like, did I mess up anything here with as far as her being a woman and stuff like that? Did I make her look weak? Anything like that? Like did I insult or that type of thing? Or would you change anything? And they gave me some good notes. It was some good notes. She had an interaction with the woman in the movie that I wrote, and one of my friends, she's like, "Well, what was her motivation for being upset with this woman? Like, she just mad at her just because she's another girl in the story or something like." Now, like, yeah, all right, thank you. I needed that.
So. That's like really amazing that you're able to write as another, like as a female or as another character or whatever. Even if it's a creature, whatever it is, you're not thinking about that, like the gender on like right. Because like for me, I struggle with that when I like write the opposite sex. I'm like, wait, do they sound a little too girly, or like, do they say, like, I definitely have like a little bit of writer's block when it comes to that. But then I'm like, no, I'm like, okay, think about it. It takes me a second, but then eventually, like, it comes together.
So what was that? The last short I wrote was this female characters, but I don't know. I think they could have sound more or less girly and just tough, but they're in that post-apocalyptic type world.
Ooh, okay.
So, like if you like let's take heartbreak. Yeah. Like people get in a relationship or they get out of a relationship. That can happen. That's timeless. It can happen in any time period.
True.
So it's just you put that's
something that's
story around. Like I start with characters first, and I take these characters. I'm like, all right, they're doing this, and she's trying to get away from this person. That can be in the 1800s, or she can be trying to get away from someone in the 2056. Right. Oh, and I like sci-fi. That's why I just drop them in 2056 and create the world around them.
That's a really good tip. So, I'm gonna take that tip. I love it.
The last movie you wrote, or the movie you...
Well, so the last script I wrote was Mija, which was the girl who's she was born intersex in the 80s, and it was like, in a really strict traditional Mexican household where it's not really okay to be like gay, let alone intersex but it's like she had no control over that because you're born intersex. Like you're not, like, I think that's like one thing that I really wanted to shine light on is that it wasn't something that she just like she tried to change like later on in life. It was like she was literally born, or he or she was born like that as a baby, and the parents made the executive decision of like, I want my kid to be a girl or a guy. So it's like this really mind fucking confusing thing that I was like, it needs to be, talked about and like, and so I wrote a script about it, and I did my research first before writing a script, because I was like, who am I to like, So I did my research, talked to some people who have had this like type of experience and what they did, what they like went through, and a lot of them had like very similar stories, and I kind of just took the similarities of all the stories that I read and heard, and also with kind of like what I know, like from like Mexican, like just because I'm Mexican, so it was just like a little bit of everything, like my own research, my own experience with like my imagination, my creativity. So I don't know, it's just I enjoy writing because it's like there's no rules, like, I mean, obviously there's the general, like, okay, like the format of screenwriting, but like when it comes to like, creating a story, you can really write about anything. And I think that's what's so amazing. You know what I mean?
Well, with that story, like, as you were telling me, and you said the time period, like that, it is important that the time period is important in that story because of how it wasn't acceptable, or it was less acceptable. The farther you go back.
Because that's why I said in the 80s. Because I was like, if I do it now, it's a little bit easier to. Well, it's a lot easier. You can hop online and be like, what is this, or why do I have this? But in the 80s, like the internet wasn't as accessible, and like people didn't talk about it. Like it wasn't talked about in school, so I took that and was like, I want her to find out during sex ed. And have it be like a big shocking, almost like embarrassing, because it's like her own parents didn't tell her, and they like left her out of her, like they kept her own secret from her, like herself. You know what I mean? So it's just like I played on that, and like, because to me it's like I couldn't imagine like your parents lying to you or like not being honest with you. I was like, that would hurt so much.
And if they were like trying to protect you.
Hey, it's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Okay, all right, cool. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know. I was doing the festival circuit and stuff. I kept seeing, I was like,
I felt so bad because for the longest time I always was like talking about it, and then people were like, we want to see it, and I was like, I know, but it's in like festivals, so I can't show anyone yet. But it's finally done festivals, so I put it on YouTube, and yeah, I just want people to like, I just wanted to help educate people on this, and like also like in a fun, like storytelling creative way, you know what I mean, where it didn't feel like, oh, like I'm learning something that I don't want to learn about. It's like, oh, it's a story, but I also learned something. You know what I mean?
That's where the writing comes. That's where it becomes like fun and I don't know, where I guess you would build a love for it, because if it's something you're interested in, and not an assignment, I guess you could say, or something you're trying to do because you're trying to be better than somebody, or like, I gotta be the greatest writer. Let me try to write something. Nah.
It's not the right way to go about it. If you
with that story, it could be on another planet. And that planet could be in the future. I mean, because you could take that story. Like, yes, because you were asking about that.
That's very true. I like that. That would be crazy. Imagine taking that storyline and then like
putting. Star Trek does it. They do things like that. I don't know if you watch Star Trek, but they do things like that.
Like in that, like that's cool. I gotta check it out. I didn't know. Like
they touch on like a lot, like racism and stuff, but they'll be on another planet. Like
that makes sense. It's like, oh, we don't like that planet because they look like this.
They had one where it was people that had black on one side and white on the other side, like white, and, you know, the color white, color black, not just brown skin tone. But like, and then they were warring with the other people on the planet who had white on one side, and black on the other side, and then the characters from Star Trek came down. They were like, "Why are y'all fighting? Y'all just one color on the other side. It's all the same people,
right?"
So it's like a mirror.
That is smart. See, that's smart filmmaking. I like that. I enjoy that. Wait, okay, back to you. Stop. Stop.
So where was I? Let's move timeline a little bit. So I'm in Delaware. I made a few movies out there with some friends independently.
Right.
Oh, that was a learning experience. We had like these microphones.
How did you learn? Because like you didn't go to film school at all, right?
No, never.
Okay, so so you like, did you learn off YouTube or?
YouTube was there. YouTube was there.
YouTube
University. That was my thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing. YouTube.
What type of microphones we needed, but I didn't get the right. Like I said, we had these microphones for the first movie, and it was picking up like all the audio. And I was like, how do I get rid of this? And then YouTube. All right, so I got to download this. But it was basically YouTube.
Wow, self-taught. I love that.
You know, watching a lot of movies, and
that's amazing. No,
reading a lot of comics for framing and comics on my storyboards.
Wow.
So,
yeah.
Then we had a lot of talented like actor friends out there in Delaware and Philadelphia. Between Delaware and Philadelphia, experience and learning experience as far as what is it, like even something simple as bringing coffee to set,
right? Oh yeah.
And feeding your actors and things like that.
Yeah,
like
you gotta learn.
I would never know, and then I look back.
Well, I mean, I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Like, how you treating these people like this? They come to volunteering time. You ain't giving them no gas money and nothing. No, like I look back, like I'd have took care of.
But at least now you know and you learn from it. It's not like you're still doing. It's not like you're doing it on purpose. We're like.
So we did those couple films, and then my buddy made a film, and I helped him, and then vice versa. We did that back and forth. Then I was like, I gotta make that leap, man. I gotta get out. I like what I'm doing, but it's not. Like we couldn't find for one of my movies. I couldn't find an actor that I really wanted. And it's like I want to do stunts and I want to do like shooting action. I'm like looking around like who does stunts, nobody's really into stunts. And
how did you find like a stunt guy? Like did you use something like backstage?
I think I got a free free trial backstage.
Okay.
But there was no stunt people in my area. So my buddies, they didn't care. They just slamming the stuff in.
They're like, okay, hit me with the car. It's fine. I'm like,
we were all cool, and, because we did that when we were doing our like comedy sketches and stuff. Right. So like we hit one of my friends with a car, and but he just went slow, and he just like leaned rolled over it, and then I sped it up a little bit in post. But
yeah, no, I'm sure so many people like when they're like learning how to like film make like the early process of it, like how do I do this? They were like doing the stunts on like their own because they're not gonna like think like, oh, let me hire someone to like fake do this or
not die
fall, you know what I mean? Like let me have someone fall for me. Like no, like you're gonna think like I'm just gonna fall. Like I thought that too, like before starting film school. I never realized like you hire, which makes total sense. I'm like, I actually thought like every actor has to like go into like training or like work out for like the role of like, I was like, damn, I was like, yeah, that's why even then I was like, I'm not gonna be an actor. I'm like, it's way too much work.
I would be those actors that like sword fighting and stuff like that. I wouldn't really want to fall a certain way and jump out and be in car crashes. I'm like Tom Cruise. I'm not trying to do all that.
I did Amityville Terror. It's a remake of the Amityville Horror, the scary movie. And I was one of the mean girls in the films, and I actually get killed in the film, and I get stabbed like in the throat. No. Yes, I get stabbed in the throat. I was like, was it? It was this side. And I remember she was gonna like stab me, and I was gonna have to like turn and then like drop to the ground. And this was at like 3 or 4 in the morning because we were like going overtime, and we needed it to be at night. It was like this like whole thing, and it was like super cold outside. So like in between takes, they'd be like, come and give us a blanket, like huddling, like all freezing and stuff. But like the amount of times I would have to like drop and like fall. There was like dirt and all this stuff on the floor. Like we were outside.
Oh, no pads or nothing?
There was like pads, but everywhere else, like your outfit would get so dirty, like out because you were literally like in the forest because it was like supposed to be like by a cemetery and this whole thing.
So I've had actors and actresses fall a couple times.
Yeah.
10, 12 takes.
But I thought about it and I was like, well, I did my own stunt actually.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that story. They was going to say, she really stabbed me in my throat.
And then it just, then I wouldn't be sitting here though.
I'm always trying to excel, always trying to get better.
Right, of course.
So I was like, all right, we did the movie. I look back at it, I'll do research. And as I did research and found out all the dynamics and all the like positions and filmmaking and stuff like that, I was like, all right, we're gonna need this. Like, that's why these movies cost so much. But I mean, I know. I figured, you know, because I always like study movies themselves and discuss them deeply with my friends, like story, even like the cinematography and things like that. And I always admire that because it's like I'll read a comic, but I take so long because I'm looking at the pictures and the artwork and stuff like that.
Right.
I would do that with movies. It would take me like I'd watch it through, but then if I go back and watch it, I'm like watching cinematography, pausing on certain parts, like hang that on my wall. With certain directors.
I love that.
All right, so I had a passion for film. I knew what I wanted to do at this point. I know what I want to do. Telling my friends, hey guys, I'm going to California. I'm not going to New York, I'm going to California. So this time next year, I'm out of here. No, actually I couldn't yet. I was like, I'm going to save it for a car, and then I'm like just going to drive it.
Okay.
Then I had another good friend of mine, and she like gave me her car. She was like, I know you're not going to take it for free because you know you're always trying to work for shit. So she's like, hey, give me $200 and it's yours, because she was buying another car and she was driving across country too.
Oh, okay. So, where was she was going?
She's going to Washington.
Okay.
So I was like, all right. So once she sold me her car, I just like the same day I just went in. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to California. Moving to California. A year from now, I'm moving to California. And I had a friend of mine who had moved out here. One of the actresses that worked with us, she had moved out here. Her name is Nicole Seneglia. Shout out to Nicole. Big shout out to Nicole because she allowed me to stay with her for a couple months.
That's huge. That's huge.
I just wanted to get the lay of the land, and I've never been out here. I had never even been on a plane, so I was like, I know I want to do this because it's the first time I'm gonna get on a plane.
Wow.
So I got on a plane and flew over here for a few months, and then I was like, all right, this is.
So you checked it out first to see, like, okay,
like,
good,
just to catch the vibe and the
weather, to see if it was really like something you want to do and not just like, okay. And then you liked it, and you're like, I'm gonna do it.
I went back home, and then I told my buddies, and they're like, okay, well, we're gonna move too. So I was like, all right, cool. So
nice.
They came out, so I packed my bags and everything that day, and then I just packed my car with whatever I had, and I had my car with my little bit of things and air mattress and $750, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
Wow. So that's amazing.
Got out here, and we ended up having to put more money than we thought on the apartment that we had like waiting for us.
Typical LA.
So I drove the drive is I think 36 hours or 32 hours, something like that.
Whoa. And like, what are you thinking in that drive? Like, I'm gonna what was the first thought, like, where you're like, what am I gonna do there for? Like,
well, before, like, was it a couple weeks before, like a month before I was going out there, I already had an idea for this Batman Beyond series.
Oh, nice.
I wanted it to be like one episode, but then I just kept writing. I was like, let me just write the whole like first season, I guess you could say. And then they're going to be like 15-minute episodes or something. I needed help writing it because I'm not a writer. Like, I never claimed to be a writer or anything. In the films that we did, or sketches that we did, I just came up with those stories, but I never like wrote anything. Yeah. And then the movie that I did, it would be someone else like had wrote it and stuff like that. So I started writing the script for it, and I was like out of necessity because I had the storyline, but like I had nobody to help me write it. So I just started writing it. So on the road, I'm still writing the story. I'm still like writing. I'm just driving. I go to the rest stop and I would like write more notes down.
No way. Like, okay.
That's so. But a week before that, and I didn't even have the script finished. A week before I drove out, I got on. It was backstage. I got on backstage. That was recommended for like California stuff.
Yeah.
And I put in my address and everything, and I had like a casting call waiting for me when I get there.
Oh, amazing!
So the day I touched down, the next day was supposed to be the casting call. People would be showing up to the apartment like for the casting call.
Oh shit!
So I'm thinking that I got to get there on time. And it was a straight drive. I wasn't staying out nowhere, staying over. Like I didn't stay at hotels. Got the rest stop, slept, stretched, got back in there. Oh my gosh, it was such a long.
How did you stay up?
Just loud music.
Loud music. A lot of energy drinks, coffee, or.
No, I should have did that. I probably should have did that. But
no.
Coffee, drink.
Orange You're like, just water.
Orange juice and water. Yeah.
Wow, I feel like I'd be like.
Yeah, well, that was a couple times.
And that's dangerous, driving while you're tired too.
Oh yeah, I pulled over whenever I was tired.
You didn't? Did you document your road trip?
No, I tried to, but it was like it was wasting time. I was like, I can't do this. It was just like a waste of time. I was like, I'm gonna just have to just accept.
Oh god.
The next time I do it, I'll document, and I didn't either. I drove across the country 3 times.
You did it again. You're like, no.
It's just because I'm trying to, just get there as fast as possible, and the time is like, you'll get your destination in 22 hours. I'm like, God damn. 22 hours.
That is far. I don't think I've ever driven that long in a car. I think the most I've ever done was like 9 hours.
When the sun came up, like once you start seeing the sun come up, that's what it wakes me up. And I was like, all right, cool. This is like, and then
I've never driven and seen like. I mean, I've driven early enough and I saw sunrise, but like a full like day where it's like you saw like the sun go to sleep and then wake up again. That would be so crazy.
I stopped in Texas and just thinking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I stopped at night in Texas. I saw the stars were out. All right, cool. So I was like, let me just pull over a second. I'm tired.
Yeah.
So I stopped and then I was like, all right, let's go close your eyes. Let me turn my car off. I turn my car off and I see nothing anywhere. I was like,
it's too dark.
It's dark everywhere. So I rolled the window down just to catch the breeze. I'm here howling and all that and barking. I'm like, back up. And I was like, all right, if something comes, it just comes, whatever. So I had a knife. I'm just like sleeping.
Oh my god.
I just don't want to get.
I would be way too freaked. I'd be too scared. I'd be like,
But no cars on the road either. But I was like, I can't afford to pass out and then like drive off into the desert somewhere.
No.
But yeah, my legs are hurting. It was a painful drive. When I finally got here, it was worth it. When I saw that welcome to California. The guy stopped me and asked me if I had any fruit in my car, and I was like, no, I got no fruit. I have this banana I got from the rest stop back here. Like, bananas, all right. Bananas, all right. And he's looking. He's like, all right, take care. Yeah, all right, man. I didn't know they had stops like that.
The checkpoint. Okay, so then you made it, and then did you have the casting call the next day?
Oh yeah.
And how did it go?
People showed up.
I was so
surprised. I think it's because it said Batman.
Wow, your first casting call in LA, like literally on like day one that you got here, and people showed up.
I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I'm not playing, I guess.
No, that's a great way to start your experience in a new place. And then were you riding that high where you're like, okay, yes, like the project, like how did the rest of the project go?
Oh yeah. So this is for people who, I mean, I don't know, I don't know, not that many people come out here to give up or anything like that, but just I just hit the ground running. I wasn't like because I came into it like I was coming against like the best. I'm about to fight the biggest warrior or whatever, so I can't slow down. I can't come up for air. Come up for air, but take a rest, breathe. But I was just like full mode, just attacking, because I already know I'm new to this and I'm new to this world. Mm-hmm. And people out here know like 4 times as much as what I know already, and they probably connected. I'm not connected to nobody. I don't know anybody out here.
Yeah.
So I just had to go at 100%. So we had the casting call. We saw the difference in talent from no offense to anybody I've worked with, but they're like the casting call talent, like from where I was in Delaware to out here, like this. Mm-hmm. The casting call was different. Like everybody that came was like very talented.
Yeah.
As opposed to when I was doing it like in Delaware. No offense to anybody. Anybody I casted, y'all were great. I'm just saying. The people that didn't make the cut, it was, they like. I saw in this room as I'm watching these people perform for me and for the role. I'm just like, out here, this is it. These motherfuckers out here.
You can cut. It's the R-rated podcast.
Oh, right.
It's so funny. I get that. People, everyone always cuss and they're like, "Oh shit," and I'm like, "No, it's
actually R-rated." Yes.
Yes. I purposely wanted it to be like you can say whatever you want, like no filter. You can say bad words. Like it's gonna when it feels right, it's gonna come out. So it's like I'm not gonna hold back.
So yeah, I was just like, these motherfuckers ain't out here playing. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They came here to play. They came here for the real shit. So I was like, cool. And one of the gentlemen, I'm gonna give a lot of shout outs, I guess. Joe Santos. Shout out to Joe Santos. This guy came in, and it was Joe, and this guy came in, and he was auditioning for a role, and we're looking at his resume, and I looked him up online and stuff, and like he did parkour, and things, and I'm like, all right, so that's kind of like a stunt man. And I was like, this is Batman Beyond, they're gonna be fighting. I was like, maybe he wanna do like be in the costume and do all the flipping and falling and stuff like that. Yeah. So he auditioned for another role, and then I asked him, I said, if you don't get the role, would you be interested in any other role? And I saw kind of expression, his expression was like, damn. Yeah. Like, all right, well, I'm auditioning for this role. Like, I guess I ain't get it in his head, maybe. Right. And then I like, because I was wondering if you want to play, like, be Batman in the costume, like Batman. He was like, oh, yeah. He was like, yeah. So I was like, all right, cool. And I mean, I didn't know that relationship was going to blossom into what it is today. We're like, we're really cool. And I've learned so much from him.
Oh, really? I love when those relationships happen, when it's like the unexpected, like you work together and you're like, wow, like you're a really cool person. And then you just click and it's like when you work well with people, it's like you can work, again and on other future projects together. Cause it's like, you like the way the other person works and you work, if the other project was a success, it's like, you might make another one.
That's something to touch on, maybe another podcast or later. Yeah. But like just building your squad.
Yeah, building your circle. Yeah.
That's very important. I think that's very important and helpful.
Because you can't make a movie by yourself. Like you come here by yourself, but at the end of the day, it's like you're gonna be working with people. It's such a group effort and job. It's not it's like you can't be entitled, honestly. Like like I don't understand how. Because there was definitely some people in film school where I was like, oh, they're going to have a hard time like working with groups of people. You know what I mean?
Which is not a good quality.
No, not at all.
And I mean, I would recommend like, just like in any relationship, don't settle. Yeah. If you ain't vibing with the person right, even if they're really good at what they're doing and you're vibing with them right, like don't settle for that. Like just,
No.
This is another thing, really utilizing all your resources. Yeah. I had created a LinkedIn account because I had YouTube. I had YouTube, Facebook. Yeah. And did I have Instagram at the time? Yeah, Instagram. I just got Instagram. Because I was just like, if I'm going to promote this, I'm going to do all avenues. Of course. There was no TikTok at the time. Yeah. Snapchat was probably a thing. I didn't have Snapchat though. Yeah. I think all these. What else is out there? What was before
Instagram,
Snapchat? The one that was like 6 seconds?
Oh, Vine.
Vine, yeah. I think Vine was the thing. I think I made a Vine. Never used it. Yeah. So I think I used it to promote Batman Beyond. Like, no one wanted to see that. No one's looking at this. No one's looking at it. 2 views. Thanks, Mom. But so I needed money to fund this thing. And I was like, I don't know how much it's gonna cost. Yeah. I'm just now still writing the end of the script. Like I wanted to make a change at the end of the script. And by the time I got there, I wrote it. I was like on the last page and pulled it up. And I was like, I got my script. Yeah. I got to type it up now. But so I put what is the thing called? When you try to crowdfund. Yes, crowdfunding thing. I was like, let's go that route. I told everybody, I was like, I don't have, we're gonna try to crowdfund for it, and we're gonna start shooting in like a month. Right. And I hit everybody up about the parts, and we'll, go. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know. I was telling them, I was speaking into the universe.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I knew that I was gonna make the movie because we had made movies for like nothing. Right. Back home. And I was like, I know I'm from that. I'm from like get scraps, favors. Yes. Do what you can do. Barter, that type of thing. So I had that mindset, like whatever I do, this is getting made. I'm not bringing these people onto this and not giving them anything. So I was gonna happen no matter what. So I just I saw this group of guys that got like 30 G's for a fan film that they did. Oh, okay. And I was like, oh, they got 30 G's? Let me put up 30 G's. So I was I put out there like, I need 30,000 for this.
I need 30,000.
But I budgeted and I did put in like everything. So I probably needed, I did need more probably than 30. Was it 30 that I put? I think I went 20. And
20.
Then I budgeted for whatever thing I needed and stuff like that. Yeah. And, did the shot list and the dates and which scenes we shot and all that. All that stuff.
Yeah.
And I put that on a website.
Yeah.
So I put that on the webpage so that if anybody was interested, they could just go to the webpage, see who the actors are, see the budget and
Makes
stuff.
sense.
I don't know if I'm giving any secrets out or nothing like that, but this is what the money is going to be spent on.
Right.
I did the crowdfunding.
Which
I had links to everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That I learned.
They like to see where the money's going. Yeah.
And the turnout, people were telling me that they showed up, and I was like, "Why y'all coming to?" I didn't ask everybody. Why y'all coming to someone's apartment? And I was like, "That how it is out here?" You know, I'm just letting them know. You know, I'm just moved out here.
Right.
People normally go to this apartments and stuff like that. Or is this weird? Do you think
is
I should? Because they were asking me questions like, "How good did I do?" And I'm like, "Well, you asked me how good you did. I can ask you the question."
Right.
So right. Do you normally go to? Is this how
people's homes?
Yeah, like not really, but I saw your website. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm so happy that
that you put
a website with all my stuff on it.
Yeah.
On LinkedIn as well. I had just started using LinkedIn, and I got a hit up by this guy named Rick. Shout out to Rick. Because all these people just, you know, they
help you throughout your film experience. Yeah, of course.
So Rick hit me up.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm interested in donating on the $5,000 tier level, but he's like, I'd have to read the script and, you know, and like
makes sense.
Like meet you and stuff like that. I was like, all right. And he's like from so Kansas City.
Yeah.
I think where he was from. And he was like, or where he was living from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I think he said he liked the fact that I was an East Coast cat too, because he was from the East Coast.
Right, of course.
Eagles. But so I was like, all right, yeah, we can meet up. And I'm not big on writing and me being the script person. So I sent him a copy of the script. And I told him, like, yeah, I'm not really a writer. So you know, if you got any notes that you or anything, let me know too. And I ended up meeting up with him. And then we met. He flew out. He said he'd like to meet the cast and crew as well. And I was like, $5,000? So we met up. And he said, I met him at the bar, diner place. And he said, meet up with me first. And I'm like an hour before the other people come up. So I met with him. I'm like, oh, meet these people online. He's gonna try to stick a finger on my butthole. He's gonna try to skin me and knock me out of several body parts. I don't know what's going on.
So I know you never know, right? Like,
that's why I was texting everybody, look, this is where I'm gonna be at this time.
This was before sending your location too, right? So it's like you couldn't send it.
So I met up with him at the in West Hollywood. Met up. And then he was talking to me, he showed me pictures of like this is like a room in this house that has like all the Batman stuff.
Oh, cool. So he was really cool. Like heart,
yeah. And on the phone we talked about it. I'm like, all right, so you watch the show, and we talking like deep stuff. And like, I just want to let you know, I read the script, had some changes I want to make. I was like, I didn't care. I was like, all right, let me know what they. Well, I care about some of them, but he was clearly a fan.
Right.
So like,
it was like gonna be good. Well, were they good notes? Like, did you? Okay.
Because he had wrote a script, like a feature film, which I would love to shoot that feature film if ever one.
Hey,
hit up Rick Neat. If y'all were doing a Batman Beyond movie, hit up Rick Neat.
I love it. I love it.
Batman movie, because he had a dope ass script.
I love it.
So, and in that conversation, he told me, he said, "Yeah, I just want to let you know that anyway, I want to meet everybody because I'm planning on like funding the whole thing."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh shit." I was like, all right.
Wow.
Well, thank you, LinkedIn.
Yeah. Oh,
and I was like, really? And I was like, well, what makes you? I was like, you really like it, like the story that much? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, what happened was, the reason I even got on LinkedIn and like got in touch with you, I think I don't know if this is the reason, but he told me his son and his wife, I got off a plane, and his son was wearing a Batman Beyond shirt. And he's like, and it sparked, and he thought that guy was doing that Batman Beyond thing. Let me give him a call. Now he's like,
my God.
And it was between that Batman Beyond shirt and a Spider-Man shirt or something like that his mom was going to dress him in. And I was like, so if you wore a Spider-Man shirt, we wouldn't be here.
Wouldn't be. Whoa,
I like that little detail of the story.
That is crazy. That just shows you, like, you never know, like, you know, you never know.
Wow, just gotta keep
that
at
is amazing. That's amazing.
So he funded the whole thing, and it was more than 20 G's. It was like almost double that.
Wow.
And he got a costume himself.
He got a costume.
Wear to his Comic-Con, something like that.
For I've actually been to Comic-Con. Yeah, I went in 2019, I think. Yeah, it was 2019. It was really fun. It was
international or
in San Diego.
Oh, you went to?
I went to the one in San Diego. It was really cool. Everyone was all dressed up in these cool costumes. They had like panels.
Yeah, I was outside.
It was.
I went because I couldn't go in. We just doing.
Oh, really? It was crowded though. Like if you, but I mean, as expected, like everything gets very crowded. You know, when it's popping and like trending. So it was really cool.
So I can imagine inside.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You went in and indoors. And
yeah. Sheesh. It was. I think I had the 2 or 3 day pass. I think it's the 2 day pass. Yeah, 2 day pass. Because I went, or did I have the 3 day pass? I don't remember, but I remember going like at least twice, and I dressed up as a Princess Leia from Star Wars.
Both days?
I think I only dressed up one day.
Okay,
because it was like a lot of work.
Yes,
but it is fun to dress up,
to maintain it as you're walking around.
Yeah, yeah. And then I was like, I'm itchy, like like hair.
Did what panel did you want to go, or was there a panel that you wanted to see?
For example, Breaking Bad, I saw the panel for that. Like, even though like it was, I didn't expect them to be there, but I thought it was. I loved the Breaking Bad show, the series with like Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul. So just seeing them, being able to like hear them talk about it was just like really cool. Like I was like, yes, like I'm here for it. I went for my friend because he really liked Comic-Con and I had never been. So we went and I was like, wow, it's really cool. Like.
I like
it. Yeah, I would definitely do it again. But then obviously with COVID and stuff, I don't think it's been happening, right?
No. It's going to happen this year.
Oh, really?
Oh, no. I don't think the international one's not going to happen. The one in LA is happening in December.
Oh, it is?
I'm trying to get a panel there for this project we're working on now. But we got a panel for the Static Shock one.
Let me know. I'll be there.
Work.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, we shot the Batman Beyond, and I learned a lot from that too. That was my first project out here, and it's kind of like I was like, oh man, this is like dream come true type. This is a dream project. I did all this, and I was just like, I hope it ain't like the pinnacle, and like ain't now I'm going to start going down from here, because I was like, I came here and did such a like this great project. But I mean, to me, like I said, Mars on Excel, I was trying to get better. I look back at it now and I'm like, dang, I gotta change that. I would have changed that. And like I met Joe, I met Stunt Guy. I met makeup artist. Shout out Kat Tenchik.
I love it.
So makeup artist and a video effects person. So I got into like video effects through learning from this guy Joel. Yeah. And because maybe I was in the future, so I was like, we need some futuristic stuff. I learned a lot from him. I learned a lot from Joe. Learned a lot from Kat as far as like makeup and just being on set. And so like then people saying, "Don't you have coffee here on set? Do you have craft services? Time management is another thing that is important in there too. So like and being on set, just like money management too, which was he was happy with. I mean, I was able to. Because like I said, I come from making movies from nothing. So like you can be any type of budget and have to make it happen.
That's very true.
Yeah, and it was a great experience. And, I'm still like in touch with Rick.
Did you guys work on any other projects together after that? No.
I haven't really approached him with nothing because I wanted to be how it was with Batman Beyond. I wanted all my ducks in a row, and I wanted to be. I kind of like because he did it as a like passion thing project. He knew he wasn't getting any money back. Yeah. And he don't know this. If he watches this, like, he'll know it now. But like, I never wanted to bring him something again to just be like, "Can you fund this?" Right. And then like have nothing come from it. I get it. Like I would like to bring a project that he can invest in,
and something comes from it. Yeah, of course.
Like that Batman Beyond.
Yes.
The one you guys see in the movie, but. Because a lot of my friends, they're like, just ask Rick. Every time I write, just ask Rick. Rick. And I'm like, that ain't how you like. He's not
a
like
bank,
or some piece of property, go
where you could just be like take out money from the ATM.
I value our friendship. Rick, I value our friendship. Yeah, I was about to say that to you face to face, but I'm letting you know I value our friendship. And he hits me up just about Comic-Con, or hey, I hope you're doing good doing this, and I hit him up. Did you see this Comic-Con thing? Or did you check out this? It's just nerd stuff, but that's the type of relationship I like to keep like that. And then like if it comes to movie stuff. Because he blessed me in that way. I'd like to bring him something that he can like profit from and still enjoy doing. Right. But I think he learned some things too, as far as like, but I learned a lot since then, since that project that, oh my goodness, I just can't wait to do another like feature. The Harley Quinn one is my, that's the next like passion one that I want to do.
Okay. So how often do you write like scripts, and how often do you try to like, I guess, direct your films, like how quickly of a process is that? Or do you or not necessarily quick, but like,
I don't know how often I write, because it's probably like not a lot. It's mostly out of necessity. Yeah. Because the one that I like, the Static Shock one I did was supposed to be just a short, because I wanted to test my video effects, like techniques or whatever, because I started teaching myself video effects out of necessity. Again, I didn't have money for a video effects person this time around.
Right.
Like I did with Rick.
Right.
Yeah. Film, production, creating YouTube.
Yeah.
You can do video effects.
Yeah.
So, and it was supposed to be a short, and I wrote a short like scene for Static, and then my brain was like, but if that happened, then this could happen too. So I was like, let me write that in the outline.
Right.
Oh, if that happened, then I just kept going. Then I just had a whole outline, and I wrote that like during my 9 to 5, like just standing around waiting for like the truck to come in or something like that. And I'm just like writing the whole outline. Then I got home and wrote the whole script. Because it comes easy, like when you're, like we were saying earlier, like when you're into it, when you're passionate about it, or when
it's just like reading in school. Like if when you're forced to reading a book in school that you don't like want to read, it's like it's so hard to read the book. But if they like are like, oh, pick any book you want to read for like reading time or whatever, then you're like, okay, yeah, like it's not as bad. So it's like that same like process, I feel like.
And I still didn't consider myself a writer. Like my friends, like you're a writer. You wrote these.
Yeah, you're definitely a writer.
So I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm a writer.
So would you categorize, like, would you say now you're a writer, director, or like what's your title when you introduce yourself?
Filmmaker is it? But that's too broad.
That's so broad. Yeah.
So it's like director.
Director. Yeah.
Like you go on my website now on the NateLyles.com website. Director, then writer, then editor.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because you edit all your own stuff too.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm assuming you taught yourself how to edit by just, like obviously you had your project and you're like,
and then watching comedy movies and timing and things like that and pacing.
Yeah, because timing is everything.
Just like
especially with comedy too, because you have to like, okay, when is it like when is the audience gonna laugh at this moment? Like I have to cut at the right time.
And when just like responding to like someone's look.
Right. Reacting to the yes.
And it's like
acting is reacting.
It gets cringy. I watch some films or some like people's stuff online, and it's just like they hang too long, like a breath too long.
Yeah.
With before reacting, I'm like,
you really do write the story 3 times too. It's like when you write it, when you're on set directing it, and then in the editing room again, because you can change it so much in the editing room too.
So like when I'm on set, the actors now say, "Can I change this line?" Or if she says it like this, is that okay? I'm like, go for it.
Go for it. Me too. I'm not like, no, say it word for word. Like I like to give my actors a little bit of freedom with that, because it's like then they're gonna be overthinking it too much. Like also like when they're acting it out, they're like, okay, wait, she asked for me to like say it this way, but it feels more natural saying it this way. You know what I mean? And then I feel like they're thinking about it too much, and you can see it on screen because. And you're just gonna tell.
They like hopefully in the way I like it to be, like they live with the character as well. So you live with the character, I'm living with the character. I try not to, when I write, try not to be too like married to them, so that I can give the actor a chance to express. So as long as we know the core like beliefs and where this person wants to go and stuff like that.
Yeah,
we got that. We got some wiggle room. You know what I mean?
I agree.
So I normally try to write shorts. Like Harley Quinn was like just a scene of her fighting a bunch of people and turned into a feature film.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you didn't even have the intention of like this is gonna be a feature. Like it just happened.
And these things happen. It's not like I come up with a story and I'm like, oh, well, this is something I really want to write about.
Yeah.
I wish it happened like that.
It does. Okay. Yeah. I always wonder like how the ideas come with other like writers or directors, because for me, like I take personal experience, I take dreams, I take like things I see, things I've like things on the news. Like I'm just like, holy shit. Like I'm like, things on the news are so crazy. I'm like, if we just took a second to like focus on and make a story around, like, I don't know, there's so much you can do. And also documentaries. There's so many good ideas from documentaries.
Documentary ideas, I guess.
Yeah.
That is one.
Oh my God.
One thing. So nobody ever asked me that. So now I'm thinking, and it's going through my head, like Static Shock was because of video effects. I wanted to try out.
Really?
A movie.
Really?
And then the Harley Quinn one was because I just wanted a fight scene so I can give my friends who are stunt actors a chance to highlight them.
Wait, that's amazing. So you had no, like, that was not the intention at all.
It then became something deep.
No,
it then became something deeper.
No, which is good.
Joker's relationship with mental, emotional abuse in a relationship. Right. So it became about that.
Yeah.
And, I've fed off of like let me just say the females in my family, their relationships.
Yeah.
Some of the females in my family, their relationships that I've heard, and like aunts yelling about certain, that type of thing. I fed off that and those experiences, and like in friends of mine too. So Joker and Harley's relationship is not a good one.
Right. So, I know.
So some of that made its way into
right
story and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It made it like hit home a little bit too.
Yeah.
It's still fun. It's a fun script. I love it right now.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah.
How
It
so
starts off one way and then ends up being
no, I
something.
know. No, and it always snowballs into
Aesthetic
something
is-
bigger.
yeah.
Like that's great though. It's like that's essentially what you want. You don't want it to like, not be like imagine if it really was just a fight scene and that was it.
Yeah.
Like that would be
like
crazy.
it was supposed to be something simple.
Yeah, like that.
No, it's not.
So when we met, you were already here for 3 years. So I'm just kind of like, what was going on in that, like in that moment of your life? And like, you've been here for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
We met. You're writing Ironheart now. Like, what? Like, did you face any like struggles, or was it an easy project to do? Like, what was?
Actually, yeah. So that project, I had some things that happened, and the people I was living out here with, they couldn't live out here anymore or something. So I ended up going back home for a bit because
you went home?
Yeah, I had to go
no
home.
Way.
I moved to El Monte, and the guy that was at the house that I was living there, apparently he was not giving the money to people, like to the rent people. So
shit.
I happened to come down stairs one day, open the door, and then a eviction notice like fell off the door, and I'm looking at it, and it's like you got to vacate in 7 days or something like that. And I was like, what the hell is going on? So I was just like, I didn't even go to work that day. I set my mom up, and I was like, Mom, I'll be coming back there for a couple. And she was like, all right. Cause I was like, I have it took me like a month to find this place.
Yeah.
And my other buddies like were
and so unexpected too. Just like,
and I'm like, where's my money going?
Yeah. That's another script you need to write. Like, holy shit. Okay.
So, there was a woman that lives around the corner from my mom, and she was trying to get some music videos done. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna come home, do those music videos. And then like, I went home, I did those music videos. And then while I'm home, I'm living with like my sisters around and stuff like that. And then there's a comic book that came out called Ironheart, and it's a black female Iron Man. And I'm always there for like like champion the black female.
Yes,
I like
yes,
to see the black female. And like, I know the women get paid differently in Hollywood, and then like, being a woman of color in Hollywood is even like, less of the spotlights on them. So I'm like, if I got like a little bit of a following and things like that, Ironheart, and I like Iron Man.
I love Iron Man. He's like my favorite. Yeah.
And so I was like, let me put something. It's like, these are the characters like Batman Beyond. Not everyone knows about Batman Beyond. Not everybody knew about Static. Like a lot of people know about Static because they had a cartoon and Batman Beyond a cartoon, but it's not like a mainstream thing. And Ironheart's not mainstream, so I'm like, I'm gonna just keep kicking it for the
focusing
mainstream
on
mainstream.
Yeah, I love it.
And like I got one for the black guys with the Static. I'm like, let me get something for the black ladies, the black girls, my nieces,
the black ladies,
cousins, and stuff like that. So I hit up Shawnee. Shout out to Shawnee. Shawnee Drake. And she was out here, and I was like, I want to bring this Ironheart thing back out to California when I come back out.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there any way you can help with that? Because I kind of wanted Shawnee to play the part, but Shawnee was like, I guess too old for the part. No offense. The girl was like 15, and like Shawnee was like 22 or something. So her younger sister, is going to play it, and she's out here like making moves for me. Like, I got this girl to be first AD. And I know this and this, and I'm like, all right, and I'm on the East Coast still, and I'm like, I really appreciate her like doing that. Yeah. So when I came out, I met Carl out here because he came out the Navy and started going to school. Carl, what do you call that? Mutual friend
from school. I know.
So and he's my high school friend. But
no, you guys go way back. I love it. Carl, if you're watching, hi.
So when I got back out here, it made it very easy for me, like, just to transition. Yeah. Right. All right, let's keep doing it. Let's get some shoot days, and we did it. And that was when I learned a first AD is so important. Oh my goodness. And so oh my goodness, I appreciate this. Michi. Shout out to Michi. Love it. Oh yeah, and during the pre-production time, when I had met you and met Carl, and I was like, some of these folks, and like get together and like network and BMS and stuff like that. Like they in film school. It wasn't like a big part. Right. It wasn't like we can't mess this up. Like, you know what I mean? So like so I was like, I'm gonna let y'all shine a little bit too.
If
anybody wanted to, I mean.
Right. I love it. Yeah.
And I was always, but still to me, in my mind, early stages of still learning everything. Yeah. Like I said, first I never had a first AD like that. Like her, she's like really professional.
And
like,
kept,
we got to move on. I was like, oh
yes.
shit. All right, we got this. All right,
yeah,
she can't get another take. I'm sorry. She said no.
She said no.
And I respect that, and I like it too.
Yeah,
she
me
gave
too.
Everybody like lunchtime now.
No.
Like, all right, we got one more take, but it's lunchtime, Nate. Right,
yeah.
We got one more take.
Yeah, I know.
Let me do it after lunch. All right,
yeah.
All right, let's do it after lunch.
Yeah.
But she was real cool.
No,
I see why they say like first ADs and directors like bump heads sometimes. Like,
well, yeah, because you're the director wants to get that shot, and it's like you're not like and you're thinking about like, well, I can wait like an extra like 5-10 minutes to eat, but like not necessarily everyone else, or like the people gripping that are carrying all these heavy things. They want to eat now, and you are on the schedule, and it's like if you go late now, that's going to delay other things, and it's like the domino effect of things delaying. So
that's why
I get it. I get it.
Need to be that person.
Yeah, because I mean, like there were times because they're also like the barrier of bad news too. So it's like they come to like, this is happening, or we can't do this, and it's like, no, you know what I mean? But no, I mean, they're doing their job.
They deliver bad news too to people for me.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I don't have to be the bad guy, type of thing, which is why,
I know, I appreciate
like we need to go
assistant
right now
director so much, because it's like
I don't gotta tell makeup there.
Exactly. Even though like I'll be like, we need makeup now, and then she goes and he or she goes and tells them, and then they're like all stressed and can't have the movie without an assistant director. Like they just are the cherry on top. So you stick to more like fantasy, sci-fi, like that's more your genre, right?
The first movie I did was like a long drama, and it had like tears and a lot of.
It had tears.
I'm okay with it.
It had tears and letters.
I started to get into my cinematography mode when I just do drama, but they were great actors. They did great performances on that thing.
Well, that's amazing. So, I mean, it seems like that's like what you're going to be focusing in the future. Also, like you're going to maybe make more feature scripts that have more fantasy, sci-fi stories, and
I think
no, and just like relating it to your experiences and things you've gone through, and also like using your imagination, which is really cool.
Some people have asked me what, like, it's surprising to me when I hear people like they would comment say, well, I'm trying to get started.
Yeah.
Like, what do you recommend I do here and there? And I'm like, he asking me. I know I've been in the game for a minute, but even I still got questions. Like, I'm still learning. Mm-hmm. But one of the things I've learned recently is if you're trying to if you're a director and you're trying to build like a resume, or build a reputation, or get your scene, like don't start with features. Don't try to keep making features.
I know,
very time consuming.
Very
take
time
the money
consuming.
And everything. If you could take, I would say do shorts.
Yeah.
That show off your skill and your genre, or show off where you want to your passions and things like that.
Yeah, but just because they're shorter scripts too, and you can crank them out faster too. It's like you can show different styles of your work easier through short scripts, short films than like features, because like Nate said, they take a long time, a lot of work, a lot of money.
Watching it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on. I mean, even with a short film, there's a lot to do. Like you're still using the same formula, but it's less minutes, right? So it's like 10 to 20 minutes versus like an hour and a half to like 2 hours. So
plus if you can do let's say you do, I don't know what the average is, but you can do three shorts maybe a year.
Yeah.
Like that's 3 lessons.
That's a good goal to have. 3 short films a year. I was thinking about that too. I was like, a lot of my time has been going towards, podcasting now, like during the week and stuff, but I want to get back into like screenwriting more and having like my scripts on the sides, like ready to go, ready to be made when I have the funds for it.
Right.
But I guess for me, it's like, I was just taking my time and like putting it on the back burner because I was like, I don't have the money for it, so I'm not going to write it. But that's not the way to go about it, write the story. If it's a good story, maybe someone else will give you the money for it, or like eventually you'll make it when the time is right. So
right.
That's what I've learned too. Don't write something just because you don't have the money for it yet. Like you never know, believe in yourself.
Don't think about budget when you're writing.
No,
right? Go all out.
Yeah.
And then it's like if you can tone it down.
If you can
tone it down.
I always have to tone my scripts down. I'm always like, and then this happened, and then I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna cost me like $10 million to make this movie.
Let's just don't even think about that. We got green screen nowadays.
True, but a big thing to like another thing that I think helps that has helped me writing also is like try to write with like what you have in your space, like surrounding you. You know what I mean? Like if you like have, let's say, a house, like, okay, let's try to write the story of like maybe someone living in a house or selling their house or just moving in, like, you know, like utilize the locations you have, because like that could help you actually, you know, being able to realistically shoot your film. Because like if I write something about like, you know, a couple owning a farm and I don't have a farm, where am I gonna get my farm from? You know what I mean? But it's like if I live on a farm, that would have made sense, you know, you know, so that's utilize your resources, right?
The trouble I run into, because I'm like, I want to write about a guy shooting lightning from his hand, so
you're like, can I get some lightning from I mean, you should maybe try to get into like special effects, you know. I feel like you could be really good at it, and it makes good money too.
I think when I think about those guys doing it, I just think they work so many long hours.
They do.
It's tough.
No, you know what's so funny? Because I used to hate, like in film school, I'm like, I hate editing. I'm never gonna be an editor. I don't want to edit anything. Like I just was like, I don't want to like be in like
audio editing.
I was just
the video editing. I'm like,
no, it's just like I can do like some of the like editing platforms, but Avid was just like I can only do the basics. But then once it started getting like trickier, like level 3, I was like, you lost me with all the shortcuts and all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, I never want to be an editor. I never want to edit. Like I was just so turned off from editing because of Avid. And then when I started podcasting, I'm literally editing every week. So isn't that funny? Like I'm literally doing something. Honestly, it's grown on to me now.
Okay.
You know, I'm not in love with it. I don't love it, but it's grown on to me. Baby steps. But maybe ask me as I get better. Because honestly, every editing session, like after every time I'm editing a podcast, I was like, oh my God, I just learned something new. Like I find like a new shortcut or a new thing that can like help out with the editing process. And I'm like, like if I knew that for the last episode, like
so that I like that, because it's like it brings up like that key thing that if you don't start it, then you know, like you'll just be like, I don't like editing.
If you don't try, it's like exactly.
But exactly. I mean, you don't have to grow to love it. But when I started, I liked it because I was editing things that I shot. I don't know if that's how it started.
But I honestly felt like I was ruining my work because I wasn't good at, like, my editing skills weren't matching the directing writing. You know what I mean? I was like a very beginner editor. I mean, not at the time I was a beginner like writer, but I just felt like I was better at like writing and telling the story, and then like I would come into the editing and it like maybe wouldn't sync up well enough, or like it would be like a little off, like I don't know, just like little things, or I was just like, that's not. I'm like,
I was editing like little sketches that we did that wasn't like really enforced, so it was like, you know.
See, like when it's like that, when it's more like your own, like when there's not like big money or like money you invested in yourself attached to it, then it's like, fuck it, whatever, I'll edit it myself, I don't care. But it's like I had put like 10,000 into this film, so I was like, this needs to be edited by a person who knows how to edit.
When I was rapping and everything, like when we did our songs, I would edit the audio, just that.
I used to have to
audio with movies.
I know. I know, it's like it's too much. I can't sing and edit both. Yeah, it's.
But the video, I like it because it's, like I said, it's like another level of storytelling.
Right.
Like you said, it's the third. It's the third.
It's the third tier, right? Yeah.
So it's like, all right, now I can change this if I need to. And so I like that. Like, but if I could have an editor and then they piece something together and let me look at it and I match that with mine, and then I'm still, you know, because I'm still always open to learning and stuff like that. I know I can learn more with editing.
I agree. You can always learn more, even when you know the stuff. Like I would say, like I have a good idea of how to write a script and how to like direct something, but I'm always still learning. Like always learning, even on set when I'm like, you know, I'm like supposed to have everything, you know, like I know I'm supposed to know everything, which I hope like that I do on set, but there's still a big, oh, I didn't know that, or like, oh, like that helps a lot, like just from like input of other people, or just seeing or just making a mistake and learning from it, honestly.
Have a goal.
Having
goals are good.
Well, and you had multiple goals too. You had, you know, you were very ambitious. You had a lot of different things that you wanted to pursue. So what would you say to people when you have like multiple goals?
Because I just dove into it. I just dove into, if you have multiple goals and many forks in the road.
Yeah.
I'd say evaluate what's going on in your life at the time, and what do you think will feed your soul more or make you happy. I mean, my mantra is happiness compass. So like direct your life into whatever the compass goes to your happiness the most, wherever you think you would find happiness the most.
Yeah.
Just dig into it, and like, you know, don't let nobody deter you or
yeah.
take you off track. Just start with that one thing. And if the other thing comes into play, then it will. If you start with one thing and then something else is like calling you in your ear still, then you're like, all right, then let me go check this out because it's calling to me.
Yeah.
But start with what makes you most happiest.
Yeah. And I guess just like trust your gut, right? Like your
Yeah.
intuition. If you feel like this is something I need to be doing, or like just go for it. Like even if it seems like a big, like think about it. Like your risk was so big. Like you left from Delaware to LA, you drove. Like after like super young when you're doing that, like it's like amazing, you know, and like that's like a big risk and a big step to do, but you did it, and you know, you wouldn't know where you would be at like if you didn't do it. So I'm glad that you went for it, and I think that's inspiring to other people to just this is your sign. Drive to LA. Drive cross country. If you were thinking about driving cross country to LA, do it.
if you can afford to do that.
Yeah, and if you can afford it too, because gas is really expensive right now.
I guess, yeah.
But if you want to throw out any social media you have, or any like your website, anything to like so people can follow and stay up to date with your work.
Well, NateLyles.com will get you connected to anything. So just go to NateLyles.com. But I am trying to push my Patreon a little bit. So I don't know if anybody will go to Patreon to help with the future projects and things like that. So Patreon.com/LylesNate. So everywhere out there's @LylesNate, or just.
And on Instagram too, right?
Yeah. Instagram and yeah.
And make sure to give him a follow and stay up to date with his work, and also donate too.
Appreciate you having me on here.
Of course. No, thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next week.